Greetings adventurers and welcome to ADV in Japan. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me out and it also helps out all the people who are interested in this content as it bumps my video up in the ranker and just that many more people can get help. All right, so if you've been watching my channel, you know that I am on a quest to get the resistance in my clutch lever reduced here so that I can use it as a true one finger clutch. Now I've already done one upgrade to try and achieve that, and that was the one finger clutch from Aliexpress. And if you haven't seen that video, you can check it out here. Basically, the result of that installation is that yes, while it does reduce the resistance in the clutch lever here, I don't think it's quite enough to really justify it as a one finger clutch upgrade. Just right here, I'm experiencing quite a bit of fatigue in the arm here. That said, it does significantly improve the two finger clutch operation on this. I don't have any fatigue like I used to before. Now again, the whole premise behind this is that by operating the clutch lever with a single finger here, I've got an extra finger on the actual handlebar, which allows for more control of the bike. This is really crucial for you adventure riders out there, just because we're dealing with a lot more different kinds of inertia than people are riding on the road. So having that extra finger there on that handlebar is just going to give you that much more control to be able to manipulate the bike in those gnarly sections on the trail. Okay, so today I've got another video that is hopefully going to make this one finger clutch happen here. And that is the Easyclutch from Prospec. Now, a shout out to the commenter who had actually recommended this to me. I was actually thinking about doing a hydraulic clutch lever, and they had recommended instead to go with something a little bit cheaper through this company Prospec. And it's basically just a clutch cable that inside here provides a mechanical advantage via a fulcrum to reduce the resistance of the clutch lever. And based on the videos that I have seen before I went ahead and purchased this, that it actually does that and it does it quite well. So today we're gonna see if those videos actually pan out. So I've got my fish scale too with me as well, which, you know, obviously we can go ahead and measure the resistance here in pounds or kilos. So we're going to measure that too, and we're going to make this all scientific-y and official and see if this actually does reduce the clutch resistance here, and if it reduces it enough to actually justify this upgrade as a one finger clutch upgrade. All right, so if you're interested in this, definitely stick around as we're going to get into it. Okay, so let's crack this thing open and see what's going on inside here. Such a simple design here. It's basically using a fulcrum to get that mechanical advantage. You can see that one cable is coming in on here, and then the other cable is coming in on the other side to kind of create somewhat of like a fulcrum. And you can see as I pull the cables here, you're getting kind of this, I think this would kind of be kind of a fulcrum is what you would call it, a fulcrum advantage here. But yeah, this is basically what's happening inside here. Really, really simple. Okay, so I removed the one finger clutch from the last install video and I slapped back on the clutch guide here and the clutch arm as well too. And I went ahead and did the adjustments so the clutch is actually adjusted to what it should be as I normally ride it. So let's go ahead and measure this out and see what it comes out. All right, so now I know that, you know, traditionally this is about where you would actually be pulling the clutch lever. But to be honest, guys, it doesn't really matter where I measure this, as long as I measure it in the same place consistently across all three different conditions. So I'm just gonna do it here because this is gonna be probably the most accurate, as it's probably not gonna move that much. So I'm getting about 10.5, 9.6, 9.7, 10.2. All right, so I'm gonna say that's probably around 10-ish, so 10 pounds. Okay, next we're gonna go ahead and slap back on that Aliexpress one finger clutch, and we'll go ahead and measure that out. Okay, we've got the one finger clutch here from Aliexpress on. Let's go ahead and measure this bad boy out, see what we get. Okay, let's put this in pounds. All right, 8.6, 8.7, 7.5, 7.5, 7.2, 6.3, 8.1. All right, I'm gonna put that 6.7. I'm gonna put that at a solid 7 in pounds. Okay, so it looks like the longer clutch arm is producing a mechanical advantage here. Just from a numbers point, I would say that's quite significant. We're looking at a reduction in around 3 pounds, 1 to 1.5 kilograms of pull. So yeah, I would argue that is a significant reduction from a number standpoint. However, I would argue just from a feeling standpoint, I'm just not, again, I'm not feeling like this could be a legit one finger clutch deal here. So let's go ahead and throw on this Prospec Easyclutch and see where we're at. Okay, so first things first, you want to make sure you remove everything from around the clutch lever here so you don't have stuff in the way. And then we're just going to go ahead and reduce the tension down there, remove whatever we've got going on down here so that we can pull out the clutch cable from the clutch lever up there. All right, so that's out. Let's go ahead and then remove the clutch cable from the clutch lever. Remove that lock nut there. And then ensuring that we've got these lined up here. We should have a small line here opening on both of these nuts. That'll allow you to then go ahead and just pull this out. There we go. So we got it out of that. And then we go ahead and then move the cable around to that opening too as well. We can pull it out from the lever. So simple as that. Now let's go ahead and remove these zip ties and then fish this thing out. So just a tip here, it definitely makes it easier if you remove this sleeve like this before removing the entire cable itself. And it should just slip right out now. Yep, good to go. Let's see what the length here, compare the length on these. Yeah, looks like we're gonna have plenty of room. In fact, probably a little bit more room. So this should get the job done. Okay guys, so traditionally when you put in a new cable, it's good to start from the lever to go down to the clutch arm. But in this case, I cannot remove this little sleeve here. And this end is longer, so my assumption is that this little casing is probably going to sit somewhere behind this plastic little bracket, and maybe somewhere up inside there. So I'm going to go the other way with this and fish it up through. This sleeve is a lot skinnier. That means I can probably get this through everything, all the little crevices and places it needs to go. And I can probably get it in this existing channel too as well. So let's give this a try. After some insane amount of fussing, I did not want to put you through all that. Plus, I don't think my camera would have lasted. I finally got this thing to work. I've got the play that I need. It's 5 to 7 millimeters right there of play. Everything's locked in. I did have to make some adjustments here. I had to pull this out. Typically, I do like to have this as far in as possible, but with the length of this clutch cable being longer than the previous clutch cable that I had, in order to get this to fit in properly, I had to back this nut out a little bit just to create a little bit of a shorter distance there between the clutch lever and the clutch arm down at the bottom. Another thing to note here is I also made some adjustments on the actual device itself here. So you can go through here and you can actually adjust, pull that off. You can adjust this nut right here. You can pull it out. That will also shorten the cable as well. I had to do quite a bit of that, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten those up later. And I went ahead and also left this off so you guys could actually see the functioning of the actual Easyclutch itself as I use it. Essentially what you need is you have to have the cables going into this casing as straight as possible in order for this to work as best as it should. So this comes down and comes straight into the clutch cable guide here. So this is the installation with the OEM parts here on it. Everything's stuck in here. One thing to mention is this clutch cable is a little thick, on the thick side for the OEM clutch arm. So I had to take some needle nose and just give it a slight, just a slight little pinch in order to slide it into the clutch arm there. Everything is good. I don't have any play here. I've got 5 to 7 millimeter play up at the lever, and we are good to go. Let's go ahead and measure and see the difference here with the OEM parts there down at the clutch arm. Okay, so measuring in, let's measure in pounds first. Okay, again, so we've got about the play that we need here. 6.4, 6.2, 5.8, 5.9, 5.5. Okay, so just from the pounds there, you can tell it's quite a bit of a difference. I mean, from considering the OEM to this Easyclutch, that's a huge difference, almost a 5 kilogram or 5 pound difference. And just feeling it too, this is ridiculously easy. If I can get this thing to work with the one finger clutch from Aliexpress in tandem, it's gonna be like cutting butter. So let me go ahead and show you guys what this looks like though. So I'll be operating the clutch lever here, and you can kind of see what's happening here. That's essentially what's functioning. That little lever in there is just kind of providing that fulcrum, that little advantage. Just that teeny little fulcrum makes a huge 5 pound or 2.5 kilo difference. Absolutely incredible engineering by the Prospec guys. Really happy with that. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get this to work even better, make some more fine adjustments over here, and see if I can get this to work with the one finger clutch. All right, you guys, I was able to get this on. It is literally, there's about that much thread left on there, which is really not a whole lot, but it's enough to be on both sides. I think it's fine. I wasn't able to get the nut on the other side. I probably could, but that's fine. I mean, I think this is probably gonna hold just well. And this tucks up actually even just a little bit nicer than it did before. I think I like this better. I was able to get it behind the crash bar there. Everything is gonna be protected this way. And the angle is a little bit better with this too as well. I like it. I like it where it's at here. So let's go ahead and test this out and see what it feels like. Okay, we're on pounds. Let's put that on there. 4.3, 4.2, 3.7, 3.7, 3.8, 4.0. Okay, so we're looking at 4, about roughly 4. So it looks like it reduced it about a pound. I mean, this is, you guys, this is ridiculous. I could do this all day, never get tired. Just one last little small thing though, as you can see, these parts are off here. This is gonna make the install go a lot easier because this is a really big piece and you wanna make sure you know where it's at. And so I do advise pulling off the side panel, you know, getting the seat off and all that stuff just to get everything in where you need it to be. And yeah, so should be good to go. Okay guys, I got everything together here. Thankfully the clutch cable came with some zip ties that I could put on here and kind of get everything solid and locked in there tight. Got everything reassembled. I put the casing cover back on here and it sits right up underneath there, so it's not going to get wet. It will get wet, but everything in here is stainless steel, so it should be fine. Yeah, and it feels pretty solid. I think everything is in there pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and swing this right around the block and give this a little test ride and see what it feels like. I gotta get used to this one single finger manipulation here. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is great. Absolutely fantastic. Oh my God. Wow. Just really easy. Yeah, and I made a few more adjustments on the lever just to make it so the friction zone was a little bit further out, so I wouldn't have to pull the clutch all the way in. Also thought I could start the bike with my one finger clutch going like this, you know. And the nice thing about that is, you know, if you're on a hill, you know, you've got to have as much grip as you can on the bike to stabilize it. You don't want to be expending a ton of energy pulling that clutch in. So I can start the bike no problem with one finger or three fingers in between. So yeah, I put the friction just a little bit right out, probably just maybe right at about 50% of the clutch play. So this should be perfect, good to go. So I think it's a verdict, you guys. I think the results showed that even just applying the Easyclutch here will make a significant difference, anywhere from 3 to 4 pound difference in the clutch lever resistance. And of course that could be used with the OEM parts here, the OEM clutch arm, but using this in tandem with the one finger clutch gives a ridiculous advantage, close to around a 5 to 6 pound advantage there. 2.5 to 3 kilogram advantage on the resistance here, which just makes this thing like I'm cutting butter. Just unbelievable. Really like it. So that's my review so far. Obviously I got to take this bad boy out, give it a good test ride, and really see how it feels. The other thing I need to do again is I need to make that stupid video again. Yes, I made a video for the Fuel X review and this DNA airbox lid filter as well. And I didn't get the audio settings correct on the GoPro. I forgot to switch it to the powered mic setting, and so the audio is just garbage. So I got to do that again. So what I'm going to do is probably I'll do both of those at the same time, split them into 2 videos and knock them out. And hopefully you guys will be able to see my impressions. Just to give you an idea though, I'll tell you what, just to give you a little cookie here. My bike overheated with the Fuel X and this DNA filter in it. I have no idea why. So I guess it's a good opportunity for me to make a second video, as I'm gonna go out in the field. I'm gonna do a couple experiments, kind of like I did today. You know, kind of some empirical experiments here, testing out different setups to see if I can isolate what that overheating problem was, whether it was the DNA filter or if it's the Fuel X. In any case, I'm gonna get that video out to you guys as soon as possible. All right, this is a wrap. So until next time, you guys, this is ADV in Japan, out.